What's up, y'all? Kofi Kingston here, and I would love to have a drink with Wrestling on the Rocks, depending on what that drink is, preferably non-alcoholic, you know?
How's it going? Tell me why you're James.
Soda.
I would love to have a drink with Wrestling on the Rocks.
Maple syrup.
Fella.
I would never have a drink with Wrestling on the Rocks.
Welcome to the dive bar of the IWC. Welcome to Wrestling on the Rocks, episode 1. Again. Now your host for Thursday Night Chaser, Miss Amanda J.
Well, you know what? Thank you, my friend. That was really great. The fart smells good. It smells like apricots. So, hey, friends. Welcome to that time again. It's Thursday Night Chaser. I'm here with Wrestling on the Rocks. And you know, I don't do it alone. Are we getting Marv? No, we're not getting Marv today. We actually have by popular demand, a special guest. So let me introduce you to my special guest. Hey, Digi, how's it going?
Hey, thank you for the honor of being on episode 1.
Oh, yes, I know. Episode 1. I pretty sure we're not going to get to episode 2 today because once again, they left the keys to the asylum with the crazies. So, you know.
Yeah.
But
remind me to bribe Marv.
oh, bribe Marsh.
Yeah.
We're bribing Marsh.
No, bribe Marv. He's the more reasonable too.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know, hey, we're all good. But since I saw a bottle in your hand, let's get the good business out of the way. Oh, someone's drinking. Whoa. Okay, tell us about what you're drinking, Digi.
Jameson cold brew. It's like whiskey and coffee. Really nice.
Ooh. Marsh, was that? I wonder if that was the one that Marsh got sick because it kind of curdled.
Might be.
That was the one, but
well,
if
he appears, you know.
Yeah, but you got to drink it before that happens. So, you know, yes,
that's true.
So I'm having a not sponsored moment again, as we haven't had one in a while. This one we probably won't get sponsors and probably will get shit on for it, but it's just a fucking chicken sandwich. I'm having Chick-fil-A lemonade with a little bit of little bit of a Russian friend named Stoli. Might have heard.
Stoli.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Das Vidanya, people.
Duh.
Okay, that's all I know. But, guys, it's been a couple weeks. I know we said we'd do it every other week, but you know what? Last week I was traveling. So, you know what? Too bad. But it's very interesting out there in the wrestling land. So let's get into birthdays because we missed quite a few. And I kind of feel bad because there's some great birthdays that we missed. So let me go in. Now, if I had said any of these ones last time, don't worry. It's only episode 1. And we, I guess, really celebrate these people. So the people we have missed, Marco Stunt, Max Caster, so Daddy Ass. I have a feeling that we're going to see Daddy Ass very soon. I don't know. I think we're going to see him soon. Austin Theory, Nyla Rose, Frankie Kazarian, Dean Malenko, Chris Statlander, Shayna Baszler. We've got, what is his name from Schism? Oh, yeah, Rip Fowler from Schism. Happy birthday. I still miss the Grizzled Young Vets. I'm not going to lie. Alexa Bliss. Wade Barrett, my personal favorite commentator at WWE. I'm not going to. Hold on. Alexa, stop. Take a drink, everybody. See, we're never going to get to episode 1 because of this crap. But he is my personal favorite of the announcers, and I was very sad when he left NXT and we got fucking Booker T, and that's still Booker T just killed my NXT experience.
Let's get through the birthdays before I go on that little rant.
Oh, okay. Well, let's do this. Speaking of NXT, Alba Fire, we've got the Ultimate Brother, the Hulkster. I think Martian, my favorite wrestler, Johnny Gargano. Anyways.
Johnny Wrestling.
Yeah. Anyways, I won't go there. Kofi Kingston, happy birthday, Kofi. And then Big Bill, happy birthday. He looks really good out there with Brian Cage. I just thought I'd mention that. Cedric Alexander. And let me see if I'm missing anything before I say the last one, because I missed a couple of them. Tony Nese, Marty Bell, Silas Young. I miss Silas. I really wish they'd bring him back to ROH. ROH.
Agreed.
Yeah, not the same without him. Let's see here. Bob Backlund's got a birthday. Kofi, I don't know who this is. Don't know who that is. No one knows who that is, but there are two people celebrating an actual birthday today. The in part of Index, Indy Hartwell. God, I hated Index, but anyways, we're not gonna go there.
Look,
and finally, the other one who is having a birthday today is good old Saraya. So happy birthday, girlfriend.
Got lots of love for her.
Yeah, at least she gets to wrestle in her home country at All In. I think that's kind of awesome that they're letting her do that. Because she kind of deserves that. I mean, she's had the kind of career that, that's just like the cherry on top. If she wins, probably not, but.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, at the same time, it's not like she couldn't wrestle in her home country, but this is a big stage wrestling in her home country, which is entirely different. Because her parents still run that promotion, which I miss them on doing Twitch. Oh my God, it was so funny.
Yeah, I think this All In is kind of weird, but we'll get to that in a moment. Let me see. Yes. Now, because I'm hosting, I never did the wrestling news. So let me see what was newsworthy. I need one of those typewriters. Yeah. But we don't have that because we don't have a budget like that. So if you want to hear things like that, especially this is a great one for those who listen to us instead of watching us. If you go to Venmo and you go to @RefMarsh, or you can go to @Ms. Amanda Jane, give us $1 or something, then you know what? We'll maybe get that little beep, 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 beep.
Hey, just in time, actually, we saw a little pop up. Just in time said, "Hey,
Hey, Justin, how are you? I was going to have you on, but I don't know what your podcast situation is like. So, because we miss you out there, man. Yeah, the brothers in time.
yeah,
What a great tag team that is. But let me see wrestling news, and I'm like stalling. So everybody talked amongst yourself. The topic of discussion is I don't even know. I don't have a topic of discussion.
Well, I got this one. You
Okay.
just keep looking. So, like when we look at the commentators that they've had, it's mostly WWE because I'm not a fan of a 3-man table.
Mhm.
But that's just me. I don't like Booker T in the slightest. He irritates the ever-loving crap out of me. Just because the way he articulates things, I don't think gives as much gravity. Whereas Wade Barrett has that guttural, he gets to the point. You look at Michael Cole. He's definitely the face commentator unless it's Bailey. I mean, pretty much everybody else on the table. I miss Pat McAfee, by the way, because that dude was just 12 levels of energy I just don't have.
Yeah, that's Marsha's favorite, future Hall of Famer Pat McAfee.
My favorite is Matt Raywalt, Aiden English. Just the guy has that mellowed tone that no matter what he says, it's like butter. But yeah, it's just like every time he says something, some wacky 12-word thing to just go, yeah, he did a great job, or that was a great move, not shucky 12 ducky quack quack flip elemental P. I'm
no.
like, they tried to explain it to me. They really did, but I don't get it. I didn't get it when some of the wackiness of his earlier promos with WCW and on. It's just he's not my flavor, and I'm sure somebody likes it. But he's not my cup of tea. Just isn't. And 3-man tables, and I'll give my reason why 3-man tables are a problem while you're still looking up news.
Oh, I found some news.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, you do the news, then we'll talk about 3-man tables because that would segue into AEW.
No. Oh, okay. Okay. Sounds good to me.
Right.
Sounds good to me. Well, there's some interesting news that's out there, I'm all about some of the shade. And I will say that there is some shade out there. There's some interesting things. One of them is I guess Dax Harwood really wants to have FTR wrestle Edge and Christian. What are your thoughts on that one?
I think that while the rub and the concept of it seems nice, that they're no longer the team that made them great. It's like watching the Dudley Boys. You go circa 90s Dudley Boys, they were hard-hitting, badass, full of sass, and ready to go. You look at last era Impact, Aces and Eights, it's not the same team.
Yeah.
So you'd be putting these two legendary icons of the business into a position to where they could put the young talent over, but smear their legacy at the same time. It's better just to go out on a high note and let it go.
Yeah. I just think it's just another one of for Dax, another one of his ones to put the notch on the belt to be, oh yeah, we really are the best because we wrestled all of the best. And honestly, I'm like, nobody cares. Nobody cares about Christian thinking that he's the TNT champion. No one cares. No one cares. Yeah. The only one who probably cares I didn't
Are the marks?
Yeah.
I was going to say the IWC marks that just want to, oh, well, this and that.
Yeah. But I don't even think Luchasaurus cares. Let's be honest. No. He's just grrr in the background. So I don't know. But Dax, if you want it, Papa Tony will probably give it to you. So
if he can afford Edge, because Edge's last match is coming up here this Friday.
Yeah. And I mean, just Dax, here's some advice. If you get Tony right after a bump, I bet you'll get that because he's the ultimate fanboy. fantasy
Yeah.
booking TV. But you know what? I digress. I digress.
No, I think that's a very valid point.
Yeah. Yeah. Look at these. Okay. Let's see. Charlotte Flair wants to surpass the 17th world title because Cena just tied my dad. So now I have to beat Cena and my dad.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm like,
But
whatever, dude. Go away.
it's like, that's nice, dear.
Yeah. Go away. And apparently there was this interview and there's something going around about Aubrey Edwards. And I'm going to read this because I just saw this and, this is my shade. So
Okay.
I got this, and this is, I don't want to say it's a reliable news source, but Wrestling News has come up with this. Someone had spoke about how Aubrey Edwards was shocked that someone didn't know who she was at a record signing. Here's the full quote below. Yeah, it was crazy, man. We were doing a signing, and this crazy lady comes up and gets me to sign an album for her. She then says, "You don't recognize me, do you?" I replied to her, "Not really. No, should I?" In which she replied, I'm Aubrey Edwards. I think she said her name, and I said to her, "Who?" "Sorry, I don't know that name." In which she goes, "I'm a wrestling referee, maybe one of the most famous in the business. You really haven't seen me before?" He says, and I said to her, "Sorry, I haven't watched WWE in a few years, and if I'm being honest, I'm a wrestling fan, but I've just been busy." She laughed and said, "WWE, I'm not in that garbage. I'm in AEW. You really need to check it out and see for yourself what we're doing over there. I'll get you back into wrestling. I promise you that." And I laughed and said, "Have a nice day, lady." And as she was walking off, she turns around and says, "What are you laughing at?" Before event security eventually moved her along because there were a ton of people behind her and she'd already taken up like 5 minutes of time. It was pretty insane, dude. There is no video or anything. I don't know who the person is because it didn't say. But what are your thoughts on the most famous wrestling referee? I really would love Marsha's opinion too, but
Yeah, no.
you know.
Like, it's nice that she got the rub for a little bit, but no. Nick Patrick. I mean, we could go on and on and on of wrestlers going back, to NWA that were.
Hero, what's
Oh,
up?
Kironeko Karama. Yay!
Was that like a Santa or an elf? I don't know what that is.
Is it Waldo?
Is it Tony Khan doing blow? I don't know. I
mean, yeah, it's for her brand, yeah, because nobody she's the face of the refs for her brand, but no, she's got a little bit more work to put in before she's that over. I mean, there was a point Nick Patrick was so hated he needed armed security to get to his car. You're not that over.
Yeah, my problem with Aubrey Edwards is that I've never thought she was a very good ref. She was just a novelty. The women that are in WWF, far superior. And honestly, she makes it about her sometimes, and she's too over the top that it's taking away from the wrestlers. No one cares about you, girlfriend. No. If I were to rank the AEW referees, the best one right now, and it's kind of tied, Stephon Smith is really good.
Oh, yeah.
And senior referee Paul Turner, I mean, I have a place in my heart for Paul because I love Paul Turner. He's a really great dude. And he was just in oh God, why am I blanking on his fucking name from ROH? Yeah, Todd. He was in Todd's shadow for the longest time. So, and I thought he was a better referee. Anyway, then I'll probably say Bryce Remsburg. And the reason why I say Bryce And I know
Okay.
fucking Marsh hates Bryce Remsburg. But it comes back to the match he did at GCW the first time they were in LA. And he did the Invisible Man and Invisible Stan match. And it was brilliant. Brilliant. And, people think, oh, no, that's garbage. At me, people, at me. Because that was hard work to convince a whole crowd that we're watching we're watching nothing. But we think we're watching two guys wrestle. It was the most badass thing. I was there. So that energy, he just had this creative energy that just like everyone was involved. Like I was in the front row. So like there was one point where they were, one of them was dragging the other around the ring. And it was like, oh, people were like getting out of the way. People were pretending to take pictures. It was great, So that's why he's he's like in the top 3. 4, I'll have to say, I don't remember his name. Marsh, the one who did Wherever You Are in Referee Heaven. The one who did NWA. Not Hebner's son.
Not Brian Hebner. You're talking about
Yeah.
Oh my god! I just had his name in my head when I popped up. He's the skinny guy with the long hair.
Yeah, no, he doesn't have long hair. Short hair.
No. Jared Fritz had the long hair.
Oh yeah, no, it's
He
not
was a good
Jared.
ref.
It's the other guy.
I don't know what other ref for you to be talking about in NWA. Those were the 2 main ones.
No, I thought, but they had one other one, white guy. Well, duh, but short-ish, like sandy blonde hair.
I see it in my head. I'll go look it up.
Okay.
The other problem with Aubrey is that she's famous for the wrong reasons. She's one of the more famous ones for bad reasons to be famous.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really weird that she would bring that up. Let me go look up the riffs.
Awesomeness. Yes. And that is true. I mean, most people don't know. And this is where I get a little mad about things is when Aubrey Edwards was training for wrestling, she, her trainer and good friend of hers, a man named Steve West, who was a real bad predator up in the Pacific Northwest scene, former owner of 321 Battle. And why doesn't she get shit? Because she's friends with people. So when the internet community goes, oh my God, you guys are friends with, like Kenny Omega's friends with that one guy, but that one guy is a piece of shit and was converted, that Chase and Rance dude. But we forget to bring other people up.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, we need to, whatever. Do you have any opinions? No?
What do you mean?
Like, well, okay. I guess maybe, and I know this is going to turn into the Marty Skrull segment for just a moment.
Oh, I'm down. Let's go.
Okay. So Marty and all of his stuff, he gets shit on by everybody. Okay. Then you have someone like Aubrey who, yeah, it was known. It still is known, but nobody talks about it. And it's weird. So I don't understand how some people get the pass and some people don't.
This is going to be a hot take, but I can tell you one reason. Because of the gender of the individuals, there is a hard uptake, because that's why Aubrey is famous. Not because she's a hell of a ref, but because of her bits.
Yeah.
And that's the unfortunate part. Marty took a beating on social media. Like, it killed his entire career, like, full stop for months. Right, wrong, or indifferent, if she would have done those things and the roles had been reversed, all things being equal, she wouldn't be anywhere near where she is now.
Mm-hmm.
Not even close.
Exactly. I mean, I don't know. Some people, like, I have a friend of mine, I call him Shirt Twin. So shout out to you, Shirt Twin. We were at PWG once. And this was like the one PWG, like right before AEW started. Tony was there.
Right.
She came out, reffed a match, and he was like, "Oh, I fucking hate this ugly bitch." He said it so loud, she heard it. I was just dying. I was on the floor, like, being myself because it was hilarious. And a lot of the people there were like, "She just sucks. She just sucks. Like, what the fuck?" because obviously Rick Knox over there, Knox is, that's like the damn ref of, that's always like the PWG ref. Like that'll forever be his moniker, is that. And I associate the Young Bucks with Rick Knox and things like that. But when she came out there, it was like, oh, hell no. And then when she does the Jericho cruise, it's awful. Hey, whoop, whoop, Christopher Willis. Yeah, you whoop, whoop. And then Mr. Willis over here sends me these whole horrible tweets that say, hey, bruv, and has an ugly picture. But we're going to get into that later about that guy because we're talking about Marty. But speaking of Marty, and this is newsworthy, is Marty is going to be wrestling with AAA. He announced this week via a video. Did you see the video yet?
Did I?
Yeah.
Yes.
What do you think?
I think it's about damn time. I like to see more gringos in AAA. Yeah. I think it's good brand representation because AAA is where you go to rehabilitate your career. Especially with somebody like Conan. If you were crap, Conan ain't booking you. That's just where it is. Yeah. So I think it's a good spot for him. He can bring his one true villain gimmick and really make it shine. He doesn't need the Bullet Club. He just needs to get in there, show him why he's worthwhile, and he right back on track.
Yeah. I mean, with Marty, and everybody knows how I feel about Marty, but this is a time where there's some people who obviously don't ever need to come back. They're pieces of scum. This is one that's on a totally different level, and again, we've talked about it before in episode 1. That it was a witch hunt. Now, am I happy he's doing AAA? Absolutely. Because this is now, I will say with AAA, this is the biggest promotion that he's wrestled for now since the whole thing. Conan said, hey, he would book him, because he says that he is more famous than some of those people on AEW, which is, I think is true. That's true. No one cares who a Daniel Garcia is. And I mean, they don't have, you're on TV all the time, but you didn't command like thousands and thousands and thousands of people were buying your merch. Like you were one of the top 3 people.
Being on TV doesn't equal recognition. It just means you were on TV.
No. So I hope that this leads to more things for him. I really hope in my heart. I honestly feel that this is a great kind of like this could be a great redemption story. You don't have to like him. I don't like a lot of people, but you know what? We don't have to like everybody because wrestling is nice in the fact that we have lots of different choices. You can like WWE, hate AEW. You can love AEW and hate anything. You can love mainstream wrestling and not like the indies. You can love Impact and I don't know, think Ring of Honor's track, whatever. You can like sumo wrestling and not actual, sports entertainment.
Well, that's really what it is Marty went out there, unlike some of the other people that got caught up in that whole thing. He went up there, he rebuilt his credibility, he busted his ass, he took whatever bookings he could get. I mean, he paid dues again just for the ability to walk in the ring again. And that says something about his love for the business at the very least.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sorry. I don't care if he had to go to Puerto Rico or he went to, Poland or whatever. And if you guys are in Arizona or near Phoenix, just so you know, if you did not know, Marty is going to be appearing at AWF, which is the Arizona Wrestling Federation, I believe. And I implore you to come. Who's going to be there besides Marty? This person. Yes.
Oh, God. She's getting around booth now.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I haven't seen Marty since NWA and when we went to Hard Times. That was the last time I saw Marty. And I've talked to him many times, but that was the last time. So I'm excited. I'm teary-eyed right now.
I'm going to add to your list of refs if you don't mind. I can
AEW
justify it.
Knox would be higher up, is higher up. So he's under Remsburg. I'm not, there's a new dude, but I don't know who he is. So, but I'm like, I don't know.
Oh, I'm encompassing all refs of because there's only
all
so
refs,
many.
like in of all time,
Yeah.
God, I'm not really a ref girl. I'm gonna be honest, but I think that, honestly, like I've seen some pretty good refs on the indies, but at the same time, like, it's hard because there are a lot of them that I'm just like, oh my God, like, how did you get on TV, But I will say that the lady refs at WWE, holy shit, they're like amazing. Let's see. It says, oh, Justin Time said, hope this can lead to a career rejuvenation for Marty in some way. I think we all do. There's a lot of us rooting for him more so nowadays than not. And, I think that, he's not going to be, for those who are worried about him being at All In, it is physically impossible for him to be an All In. So,
let alone,
don't worry. Oh, Christopher Willis said, just finished watching the video on Instagram.
What you talking about, Willis?
What you talking about, Willis? And Justin Time says, Aubrey Edwards is just a complete weirdo. She's a joke of a referee. Let's give her a round of applause because, yes, girl, you should not be refereeing. Go back to, now, she has her hands in the pot with a lot of AEW stuff, like the video games and stuff, because I guess that was her background before. It's like, girl, just go back. You're a fame hunter. Go back to what you did.
And that's what it looks like. Because I put it that, one of the top refs of all time is Tim White. Because that dude had to no-sell the Hell in a Cell match with Undertaker and Mankind on the top of that cell, had to watch the dude go off, no-sell that, and somehow keep it together to run a finish to that match. Like, knowing that he is dead. Like that, I don't know many refs that wouldn't go, oh crap.
Yeah, that takes a lot of, it just takes a lot of, like, and also to be emotionless too, like, oh, not like, oh Jesus, I don't think this was supposed to happen, you see a lot. And then even I'll say one ref that at least in New Japan, okay, for me, I hate red shoes. Okay, red shoes I have issue with. Okay, Marty Asami, that's my dude. Okay, he I know he doesn't get to do the big shit, but Marty Asami is the dude. Okay, red shoes. I'm not talking about Sakura Genesis, 2017. I'm not talking about that, people. I'm just talking in general. Sometimes it's just all about his shoes. And I'm like, dude, you're not that great. You are no Tiger Hattori. Let me tell you.
It's true.
I love Tiger. Cheers to retirement for you, Tiger.
Cheers.
Yes. And also, speaking of Tiger Hattori, I would like to set the record straight because this has been going around on the internet wrestling community. They're like, oh, Okada and Marty took too long. Want to know why, people? Tiger Hattori, and you can go back and look, he wasn't wearing an earpiece.
Yep.
Because Paul Turner, if anyone's seen All In, they know where I was sitting. Paul Turner comes up to my left and he goes, can you do me a favor? I go, yeah. He goes, I know Marty will look over to you because you're loud. I go, yeah, thanks, Paul. And he said, try to get his attention because I need to get Tiger's attention because he doesn't have the earpiece and we're way over. And I don't think he realizes. And I'm like, okay, so I tried to. And then finally I did. And Tiger looked over and Paul was just like, gotta cut it. And then the camera crew was great because they didn't catch like Paul jumping over like the rail over there and trying to get it all straightened out. So, I mean, yeah, don't blame Okada. I mean, but Okada is a slow worker. Don't blame Marty. Blame Tiger Hattori and him not wearing an earpiece.
But Okada also, is somebody much like when Shinsuke was in Japan.
Mhm.
It was never about the finish; it was always about the journey to that finish.
Mhm.
That's why the match versus Styles is considered one of the best matches of all time
Yeah.
because they both just worked it.
Yeah. Now, speaking of Okada, does it shock you because the G1 final was last weekend, I believe,
Mm-hmm.
and it was Okada and Naito in the final, and you know, did it shock you that Okada, this was his fifth final, and he always ends up whenever he's in a final he wins, and he didn't this time?
No,
Or what's your take?
it's a lifelong thing. Like when fans start to expect something so much, especially with Okada Naito, you had these fans that were very expectant of one thing, and this was a way for them to coin a phrase, shock the system, um, to sort of cause that change because fans went in. He's never lost. He's da 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 da.
Mhm.
To have that loss, especially to somebody who deserved the rub, that was just brilliant booking.
Mhm. Yeah, I hope they're setting up for Naito Sonata at Wrestle Kingdom. I
That
hope.
would be nice.
I really hope that. Um, I don't know, because I back in a couple of years ago, when Evil split out to Bullet Club, I always
Mm-hmm.
thought that Sonata was going to be the one that breaks away because there were signs of it during, I can't remember what tournament it was, but like there was a time where Naito was wrestling Sonata, and you know how they do their little hand thing. Sonata
Mm-hmm.
was doing it, and Naito looked at him like, "Hello," uh, and then Sonata finally did it. So there was a lot of signs that looked like maybe he was going to be the one to leave, because he was always, and I think maybe still touted to be, he's going to be the next Okada. That's where New Japan wants to put their money on. But I
Well,
don't know, his run as a with the belt, and I love Sonata. Don't get me wrong. It's kind of he's not good as a face or whatever the hell he is. It's not. Yeah, it's weird.
yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, Kyoto, what? Good God,
Uh oh.
$40,000 just to be in Philly? Really?
As a fan, oh my god, dude, that's way. Oh, are you
Yeah,
sitting like if you're? Where are you sitting, Kuro? Because that just no. Where would you sit for that? Are
I
you
do
sitting
like.
on someone's lap? Are they gonna let like? If I paid that, I would be like, can I pinch John Cena's ass all night like it was a stress ball? Like my little friend here, the stress ball.
Dun, 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 dun.
Mm. Yeah, no. People would be, what the hell's wrong with her? I'm like, I'm getting my $40,000 worth of ass.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah, but I don't understand that pricing. But then again, you got to look at like with um AEW stuff. Some
Yeah,
of those really good seats for some of these shitty ass shows are like 1,500 bucks. First front row ringside hard cam 2 nights, 4 tickets. Ooh.
okay.
Okay, so you're taking away from the guy and his mom, that incestual peoples, and Brock Lesnar guy and whoever else. Dude, where are
I'm
you
all
when,
about it.
yeah, Kira, where are you when I need like front row hard cam for like AEW shit? Like I need like Collision. I need the Phil Brooks show. I do, seriously. I need that, and I need it because I have a feeling that the Collision I'm going to is about around the time when Ricky gets to wrestle again, because he's going to be a manager. We'll talk about that later. But anyways,
Hmm.
I digress on that. So I don't think there was any other news other than, let me see here. Um hmm, there's nothing really. I mean, um one thing I will say, if you are in the Chicago area Effie's Big Gay Brunch is a great experience. So I implore you guys to go. It was really fun and inclusional, and I think that that's where the way it should be. So definitely check that out. So, anyways, so let's talk about AEW because we're talking about their shitty female ref and all of that shit. So what have you like watched? Because I'll tell you, like AEW to me has been like I'll watch a little here, a little there, just to
I
see.
watch YouTube clips.
Yeah, singing people do that too. People do that too. I mean, I don't know. FTR kind of right now is rubbing me the wrong way. I don't know. I don't know if it's because you know, it's always, oh, like, oh, top guys
Well,
out, all this other stuff. Am I interested in them and the Bucks at all in? Not really.
I'm not interested in the Bucks in general because if I wanted to watch a Super Kick Spot Fest, I could just watch Shawn Michaels and it'd still be a classic.
Mm-hmm. No. I miss the old Young Bucks. I'm not going to lie. This is not the Young Bucks that I know.
The Bullet Club.
Yeah, the Bullet Club Young Bucks drinking cranberry juice or cranberry jack. Well, I don't know. You seem litty, Willis. So good on you, man. Good on
A
you.
little bit.
A little bit, a little bit. But I don't know. Like I don't know. Call me a nostalgic bitch, but I miss those Young Bucks from that time. I miss the original Elite. From when that first started. I mean, I watched that from episode 1, but just like ours. I mean, they're at what, like 400 now at least, and it sucked after like I want to say 130, 140. It went downhill from there. There were some bright moments in there. Made me appreciate like uh John Silver a lot. I think it's hilarious. That made me a fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, things like that. Um, I love that. Like, I loved when they had the belt, and they were doing all those games. That was really fun to see. Them have stupid fun like that. That's what I'm talking about. But I don't know.
Like, if I go back, you had the OG original leader, Prince Devitt, also known to some of you Marxists, Finn Balor.
Yeah, and let me ask you. Speaking of that, do you think people really know? Like when you see him come out and it says Prince, do you think people know what that is? The WWE fan, or no?
I think not all of them, but I do think a portion of them do because they did a lot of teasing back and forth with the Bullet Club gimmick between him and Styles and the OC. Like they really pushed at it, so I know they got some eyes that way, and some of us old school fans who know what it is.
Yeah.
Does everybody? Probably not. Like they're just like, oh look, it's a gimmick change, which
the Young Bucks are overrated.
I agree.
A lot of people like Clump. I think Clump didn't. Well, he kind of liked them, but then it got old for him. Marsh definitely does not like the Young Bucks. I don't know. Like with the Young Bucks, it's very polarizing. Either you love them or you hate them. But most people, I think, what they hate about the Bucks, or if they say they're overrated, is why Marsh doesn't like it because it's too choreographed.
It's choreographed. It's big spot fest.
Yeah.
And that's like if you look at where they started when they joined the Bullet Club and everything. Yeah, there were super kicks, but it was not a spot fest. And they can do so much more. They have a very versatile repertoire.
Yeah, they do.
But they go to AEW and that's all it becomes. And
well, that's what the wrestling fan wanted. The indie
But is
thing.
it, though?
Everyone pops at the I'm gonna dive off a fucking cliff, or hey, the more spots that we have, the more flippy shit, the better. And I think that the indies really, they encouraged that, and
But-
then that's how it leaked into.
Here's the thing, though. I know plenty of indie performers. That is not the case. There's always at least one or two on your roster.
Yeah.
Because that's their style. But most everybody They have it down to their basics first.
Mhm.
And then if they want to get fancy, they get fancy. But that's the Spot Fest thing is not indie related. It's even WWE. You know, there are some like you always know Ricochet is going in the ring and he's gonna fly over something or into something
Mhm.
because
why
that's
they-
Prince
yeah.
Puma.
Yeah. But that's why like Regal wanted him because he went to Reseda, PWG, and he saw him do all this shit. And then when you look at like Ocean Spray, you know, the
Mhm.
two of them. So someone you cannot tell me because when you watch the two of them, and I'm talking now and then his prime, Ocean Spray, you cannot tell me that Ricochet is not the better of the two. You all can at me at it, and you know I'm right. And you're gonna
No,
have
I
to,
agree.
Willis says, bend the fucking knee if you think that my opinion is wrong. Leatherface is overrated. Yeah, I'm not. You know anything that I will say um is I don't know. FTR the best tag team in wrestling? No.
They are the modern version of Arn and Ole. Like they
Yeah.
are keeping alive legit tag team wrestling and trying
Yeah.
to make it matter, which is a daunting task. Let's be real.
Yeah. I'm not letting my feelings for their friendship with Phil Brooks get in the way, but I'm like, hey, I mean, they're great, yes, but it's like, who are really true tag teams? AEW has,
God.
yeah, I know, I'm waiting for that. They haven't wrestled God, or have they? I don't know. Correct me if
They
I'm wrong.
have, but not on TV.
Okay, but that's different. You need it on TV, and you don't see them. Like I don't know. It's weird because like all of AEW's tag teams, pretty much for the most part, have had the young guys have all had time where one was injured because of a stupid spot, and
Mhm.
and it's like you guys really shouldn't do that because if you look at my favorite little shit, Sammy Guevara, he's changed his style because you can't keep doing that because
Yep.
it shortens your career. And I think he's even said that. So that's probably one of the smartest things that I've heard him ever say was, if I want to have a career, I got to cut that stuff back. And
Yep.
it's true. Mm.
I
And
mean, Neko, I'm with you.
oh,
100%.
yeah, Kiro. Impact Wrestling is the best wrestling show on the planet now. I will die protecting that fact. Kiro, Marsh and I were talking about Impact quite a bit. And of course, you were never there when we were. But I will say that with Impact, there are a couple things that I'm like, yeah, but I enjoy it. I enjoy it.
Nobody
I'm not gonna lie.
nobody's ever going to book perfect, but
Yeah.
considering what they do and who they have and all of your favorites, and I'm going to die on this sword, every one of your favorites had to go through Impact first before they became great. You like CM Punk? They did it. AJ Styles? He was pretty much homegrown. We can
Mhm.
keep going.
Yep. Samoa Joe.
Yep.
Um, look at
Bobby Lashley.
Bobby Lashley.
Chivas. We could just.
Desmond Xavier. Well, I'm sorry, Wesley.
Yep. You
Yep,
can.
those guys. Yeah, the Rascals.
Austin Creed.
Mm-hmm.
Our Truth.
Mm-hmm. Yep, you can go
Oh,
on and on. Yeah, and then look at like the one thing that I like so love about the knockouts division, right? Is that Gail King is. I
Gail
mean,
Kim.
Kim.
Yes.
Kim. Sorry, I'm Korean. No. What am I doing? I think I'm
Yeah.
thinking Burger King and how gross it is.
Did
That's
it
what.
Mao?
Yep.
Sorry.
Take
LA
it.
Knight too.
Ticket. Yep. LA Night. Yeah. Cameron Grimes. One of my favorites there. And even Grado. I'm not gonna lie, I love Grado.
Look,
Um,
how do you not love that big piece of Scottish meat?
yeah, it's yourself. I love him, and I remember the first time I met him, he was like, I was like, how do you like? It was with Cole, and it was when they did Wrestling Road Dyers 3, and I said, I'm like, how? I'm like, how do you have conversations with some of us Americans, right? Because I said I have no clue, and he said, "Oh, Colt told me I need to speak slow." I'm like, "Oh, okay, got
Yep.
it." And he says, "I get too excited sometimes," and I'm like, "I got you, dude. I got you." But yeah,
My
you know,
advice would be drink more.
just drink more, buddy. No, he's cool. I love him,
Yeah.
and I mean, honestly, you know, hey, even Marty, he did
Yep.
the British thing. He did the thing that what's his face? What was his WWE name?
Uh,
We hired him back. You know who I'm talking about. He was
yeah.
Spike on Impact, I think. Multiverse 2 is a perfect card, and that's a fact will never change. I love the fact that we get fucking ZSJ, and I think, was that Mikey? No, it was Shane Hayes. I don't know. It's one of the two. I'm like, love them. Brings back old Noah memories for me of watching Noah. But anyways, so but yeah, no, I think that, you know, they've got some of the best, you know, some of the best people. Like Swerve. He was there.
Yeah.
Impact, if I'm not mistaken. You know, I know people don't like Sammy Callahan. But I like
No.
Sammy Callahan. Dude. Mhm.
The draw.
Him and Jess. Him and Jess, man.
Oh,
Oh my God.
oh.
There was the most beautiful picture of her that she posted. I think it was on her Instagram with the pink bra on. I was like, holy shit. She is just so, I'm like, oh my God. I was blown away. I was breathless for a moment. I was like, oh fuck. Look
Yeah,
at Jess.
man.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, look. The 12-man tag GOD is going to be at the Multiverse United too.
Oh, let's see their card. Did you what's going on that one?
Okay, we have number 1, Joe Hendry, Yuya Imura,
I
and Heath.
believe in Joe Hendry. I still do.
Yeah.
Still do.
Versus Rocky Romero and 6 or 9, which is Ryusuke Taguchi and Master Wato. That's match 1, 6-man tag. Singles for the Digital Media Championship is Kenny King versus Yoshinobu Kanemaru.
Oh, he's wrestling. I like to call him Japanese Bill Murray because of the Suntory.
Oh, and he's so good.
He's great. And then, you know, who does not love King? Yeah. I know I'm going back, but you know what? Honestly, like I'm really glad that Kenny has a platform. I've always liked Kenny King, you know. So
Mhm.
that's one thing that I mean, Impact, it just makes a lot of people just like amazing. So they've done a great job with bringing some of these people like from ROH. I mean, I really wish that Silas Young has a part of something because he's so good. He's so good, and I miss him.
So match 3 is Bushi, Chris Sabin, El Desperado, Frankie Kazarian, Kevin Knight, Mao, and Rick Swan and Yo. It's an 8-man scramble match.
Whoa, that's interesting.
Like the Fallen Angel. Just gonna say. Doki versus Sammy Callahan is match 4, singles.
Okay.
Tag team is Leo Rush and Trey Miguel versus Himuro Takahashi and Mike Bailey.
Oh shit. Okay.
Speedball himself.
Mm-hmm.
We have the 4A match for the Strong Women's Championship, which is Diana Purrazzo, Giselle Saw, and Momo Kogo. Which my money's on Momo. I'm just saying.
Okay.
Tag team match, TDK, which is Zack Sabre Jr., Shane Haste versus Moose and Eddie Edwards. Or TMDK. I'm down for that. That's going to be good. 12.
I want to hear Zack Sabre Jr. call Moose a dickhead.
At least once.
At least once. Master Wato winning the junior tournament was a huge disappointment. After he lost the champion match, he's been on pre-shows. Okay, first of all, Master Wato, I don't know who decided that, but that should not have been who won that tournament. That's the Super Juniors has been lacking a little bit. Just because if you think about who was on that, For him to win, I was like, what? That came way out of left field. I was very disappointed. So
It was a
now,
matter of faith. That's what it
yeah,
was.
but also too, when you look at it, they have that juniors, what is it? The junior, all
Ugh.
star juniors that week
Mhm.
as well. And I'm like, okay, dude, like, who are you really going to have? You know, because it's, I don't know. You'll see Leo Rush there. Okay. You'll see.
You'll see him there. Is he still injured?
Oh, well, he's wrestling, you said, with Trey Miguel.
Uh, yeah, but I thought like this is just the match card subject to change. You know how it is. But didn't he
Well,
get
I don't
injured
know.
recently?
It's either he is injured or he retired.
That is the Leo Rush way.
Yeah. But I will say this. Okay. I will say this about Leo Rush. Someone thought I was insulting him. But right now, this was the best run of his return from entire retirement runs.
100%.
I'm just saying. I am just saying. Continue on.
Very well. Yes, ma'am. We have the Impact Bullet Club, as I like to call it. The Ace Austin, Alex Coughlin, Chris Bay, Clark Connors, David Finley, and Kenta versus the World, which is El Phantasmo, Josh Alexander, PCO, the DKC, and the Gorillas of Destiny as a 12-man.
Oh man, that's beautiful.
Oh,
That is
yeah.
so beautiful. So
That's
so
a dream
beautiful.
match.
I'm like a tear in my eye when you just like ELP, then Josh Alexander, it welled up. It welled up.
When, like, I remember when the GOD were a Bullet Club.
Mhm.
And then
I
when they
don't.
left,
I do not think that Bullet Club has been the same since the departure of Tama Tonga. I'm gonna say that. You can at me,
I
people.
would go, it's no longer the same since what we call the OC. When those three left, because they were the OGs, that's what hit them hard. And then they had to scramble to put new faces.
Yeah,
That's personal opinion.
yeah, yeah.
So we have a match 9 is Catch 2-2, which is TJP and Francisco Akira. Great team, by the way.
I hate TJP, but anyways.
He's a great performer. He's got an ego, but he's a great performer.
And also, that's a pedophile, allegedly.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Did I miss Yo was added to? Yeah, I said
Yeah,
Yo.
you said yo. Yeah.
Yeah. Neko over here giving me a heart attack. So we have TMDK, which is Robbie Eagles and Kosi Fujita. Good stuff there.
Good stuff.
Now, this is number 10. The main event for the Impact World Championship is Alex Shelley versus Tanahashi. That's going to be a hell of a match.
That is. I'm very Team Shelley myself, but yeah, that's pretty awesome. That's really awesome.
I felt the same way about, Saban. Chris Saban, like, to come back to just be so awesome. Like, well done, dude.
Wait.
Well done.
Have FTR faced Motor City Machine Guns?
I do not believe so.
I don't think so. That's one that they need to do. That's one tag team that, if you're going to be the best, that's one of the best right there. I mean, that would have been great. The original Rascals would have been great. Or,
yep. I
yeah.
would still, the
M2K,
team of Swan and fucking Callahan.
Mm-hmm.
I am in it.
Mm-hmm. That's a good one. That's a good one. Especially, I think that with Sammy, I know people don't like him. I know, but it's like you got to give the guy credit. I mean, there's a lot of shit that, you might not particularly, that might not be your cup of tea, but you know what? For what he does, he is great. And,
when he calls himself the Draw, it's love him or hate him. You watch him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I will say that I was a little disappointed this year that in LA, we did not get, I don't know if he's done it since he's done it, and it may have been a while, where they did pancakes and pile drivers. That was always a highlight for me of those. Like from the first one, I did not go to the first one, the one that had the pancake fight, food fight.
Mhm.
I wish I did. And then the second one, they did they had waffles, but we weren't allowed to bring them inside. That was stupid. I'm like, well then what? But it was
Yeah.
great. It was a great show. But
Oh,
yeah.
speaking of emergence, because we're just doing things. We're just
Yeah,
floating
we're
the
doing
boat.
things. We're doing things.
Emergence, the pre-show, it's Kenny King versus Johnny Swinger for the Digital Media Championship, which is on the 27th. Sonata versus somebody for the IWGP. It's to be announced.
Hmm.
Uh,
If it's
Trinity
Bully Ray, I'm gonna be pissed off.
Oh, I don't know.
Go away, asshole. Go away. Go
We
away.
have the Knockouts Championship, Trinity versus Deanna Purrazzo. Going to be a good match.
Yeah.
We have a 8-man tag, Josh Alexander, Alex Shelley, Chris Sabin, and Kushida versus Bully Ray, Moose, Brian Myers, and Leo Rush. Interesting. This is where my money's at.
Okay.
Right here. MK Ultra versus Sean Taraj versus the Death Dolls versus the Coven. It's a 4-way for the Knockouts Tag Team Championship.
Nice. I'm actually
Like-
partial to Death Dolls. However, I love the Coven. But you know,
The Death Dolls and MK Ultra.
yeah.
That's where I'm at because they've last match for the Impact World Tag Team Championship is Subculture versus the Rascals, Trey Miguel and Wentz.
Mhm.
So the game is going. I mean, we just need to see it happen.
Yeah. I mean, that's some good stuff. I mean, those cards are so much better than what All In is producing.
Yeah.
And
And that's been a complaint I've heard a lot is that, when AEW started, and I'll agree, there was a lot to watch.
Yeah.
Now it's kind of so watered down. They have so many talents on their rosters, but they don't use half of them.
oh yeah, it's the same. It's my complaint with them. It's the same people over and over and over. I don't need to see Wheeler Yuta on all the shows. I
No.
don't need to see Moxley on all the shows. I don't need to see Claudio on all the shows. I don't need to see Chris Jericho on all the shows. I don't need to see blah 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 blah, and so on and so forth. I don't need that. Okay, I really don't. I'm like I don't know. I just feel like it's Tony Khan doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. He really just doesn't.
He's fan booking.
Yeah, he has been fan booking, but I'm a better fan booker than he is. I mean, I think, I don't know.
So is Marv.
Marv's even better because he farts. He farts
Yeah.
into existence.
He lets you know when your match is bad. You walk back, you hear a fart.
Yeah, he's like that. Yeah, that's the new rating. Like the fart, like the Marv fart system. Yeah, it's 5 farts.
I would trust that over Meltzer.
Exactly. Absolutely. Marv is the man. But speaking of which, if you guys don't know the card yet for All In, it still really isn't complete. So we've got for 0 Hour the ROH World Tag Team Championship, Aussie Open, and then Better Than You, Baby. Well, we know where this is going to go.
Yeah. A blind man can see that shit coming. Come on.
Mm-hmm. And then why we have to have another fucking Darby Allin. That's another person who doesn't need to be on every show. Darby Allin fucking coffin match. So it's Sam and Sting versus Mogul Embassy, which I am loving. Swerve and AR Fox together. Oh, Kira says fans have been asking for refunds of their tickets for All
I've
In
heard that too.
because it wasn't what they were expecting. That's coming from the Football Association owners of Wembley Stadium.
Oh, yeah.
Here's my question. What were you expecting? That for real. It's like, what do you want? Did you want, I don't know. Did you want, I mean, I'm sure you guys don't want Chris Jericho and Ocean Spray. That's gonna be fucking lame as fuck. I'm like, oh my god, that's gonna be just brutal. Two fatties. Oh yeah,
Well,
two goats. I'm like, whatever. That's not two goats. It's two fucking egomaniacs. That's what it is.
well, he's trying to Hogan it up before he's officially done. That's what it is. And they know that once Jericho's gone, they got the few people they have that could take that spot. They haven't pushed it so long, it's not even funny.
Who are you thinking
Aleister Black, the House of Black, as a faction, that dude is a legit badass.
of? Mm-hmm.
He's always doing something new. The stories revolving around them are great, you know, because they don't do shit. It's like, unlike the Dark Order, who's been, you know, they could have been the faction to run things, and they were. They could have, even as morbid as it sounds, they could have taken off from the Brody Lee thing. They could have pushed it forward. Now it's a fucking joke, and occasionally his kid shows up on TV.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, Rusev, you know, best man, badass, really good in the ring. Like, really?
But him and
You're gonna
Hobbs,
use-
that's the
Yeah.
new one. So I don't know, because
What are they just gonna? But they're gonna throw him out though. Like, it's just gonna be.
Yeah, these are two guys that.
Yeah. Hobbs
really
is an
need a
amazing
push.
performer.
Yeah. I don't get
They're not. They're not building new. They're building old. They're making the same mistake WCW did, and they're not learning.
Yeah. And then I look at it, I'm like, where's fucking Wardlow? Apparently he's depressed. I don't blame him. They really dropped the ball on him. But, and I will say that with kind of going backpedaling a little bit, I think that what people, I don't, you know, if I were to go into All In, and this is where I'm going to get on a little bit of soapbox on this topic, but they should never have done another one named All In, and I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
My personal opinion, All In there was something magical in that arena. Anybody who was there can tell you that there was something magical. It was something special. It wasn't you know, I have a big dick because now I've sold, you know, had the, you know, highest attending wrestling show ever. And
except that it wasn't.
No. But what I'm thinking here is this whole thing is that, you know, honestly, it was special and it meant something. That's what All In's purpose was. This one is just like, these are how big my balls are. They're bigger than yours, Miz. I mean, that's what it is. And I'm like, these matches don't serve a purpose. Like, you're going to do a stupid stadium stampede match with Best Friends and Eddie Kingston versus the Lucha Brothers and the Lucha Brothers versus the Blackpool Combat Club and 2 other people or 3 other people. Do we think we see Danielson? I hope not. I don't want him to come back for this bullshit. You know? I mean, I don't know. This is so stupid.
I really think at this juncture, and this is a hot take, the moment they took Cody Rhodes out of the picture, everything went to shit because Cody thought in long-term booking because he was at a company that long-term booked him. So he knew better. When he was gone, you can see it became the Britt Baker show, the Jericho show, the Darby Allin, like certain individuals got that push.
Jurassic Express.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it just, you can't run a company, like, say what you will about WWE, but they push people. You might not always like who they're pushing, but they're always trying to push someone. Like right now, LA Knight is hot.
Yeah.
Dominic Mysterio. Dude, that kid's got so much nuclear heat, it's not even funny.
Oh, I know. Like, that kid can never, ever, it'll take a huge, like, miracle for him to ever be babyface right now. It's going to take lots of years because you don't get that kind of heat. The only other, like, heat people that I know who get heat, but he has a lot more heat, like Vicky Guerrero. Holy shit, that was like I love Vicky, and
Me too. She's such
yeah,
a sweet lady.
I love her. She's it's because she's got fucked up family problems. That's just shitty, but
Yeah.
but that's where it's like, man, that's golden. Does AEW have anything like that? Yeah.
No.
Phil Brooks, but
Not.
it's nowhere near where Dominic Mysterio is. Nowhere
No.
near.
The closest they've got is MJF, and even that's not even
But
near
you
as
see,
close.
they don't even really boo him. It's it's more than like we love him, and okay, we'll boo to boo him, but like
He
yeah.
says what we're thinking. Like
Ah,
I think he's kind of taking Punk's spot, because Punk, here's where he screwed up.
okay.
Is when everything went kind of worked shoot with the backstage shit, that's where the problem started, because they took that tarnish, instead of keeping things back behind the curtain, they pulled it back too much. People started talking, and the dirt sheets piled right on. So all that shine for the guy that was selling more merch than anyone overnight died.
Yeah.
And then it was, let's salvage the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega. Let's salvage their face and what clearly is two sides of a story.
Yep.
Like it just, all that, it tarnished him. So now what does he got to do? Well, his next best thing, he's got to turn straight heel and lean into it. And it's going to take him a while before he's going to get back to that semblance of where he was.
Yeah.
This is like circa Paul Heyman as my manager, Punk.
Yeah. But I don't know. Phil Brooks, we all know how I feel about Phil Brooks. And, but I will say that it's very interesting that I think that AEW's production, Tony Khan is doing one hell of a job to blend those boos in.
Yeah,
it's kind of painfully obvious in some cities, but I think the greatest bit of how something had changed is I'm going to go over to Ricky Starks. Shout out to the beach. Anyways, so this
one of the best asses in the business. Yes.
Yep, damn right, damn right, damn right it is. And you guys can at me. I
try to at you, but you don't follow me on Twitter.
Oh my god! Hold on, let's solve that. Okay, okay. This is only episode 1, man. I got called out on this shit. Oh my lord!
Yeah, man. We can handle it on the back end.
We'll handle it on the back end. I was gonna make wrong or right now because I brought the old. Actually, it's not Twitter anymore. It's X. So.
Well, we can.
X.
Remember, it's episode 1. Everybody's got mistakes.
When I hear X, I'm thinking of DMX. Rest in peace, dude. Drinking some for you. But no. So back to the best ass in the business. So.
Willis is like, I'm here for this.
Of course you're here for this, dude. This is the part that everybody tunes in for. Wrestlers and listeners and others.
And others.
It was interesting last Collision when he comes out and he's suspended. So he comes out in his entrance, you hear the boos. Lots of boos. But it's interesting to me. He came out, talked to Shivani, had probably cut one of the best promos that he's done. It came from the heart and it was genuine, and that fucking crowd got behind him so much. And it's like you can't make the guy he's likable. You tried to do it, but you couldn't do it. He basically was like, y'all are gonna pigeonhole me in something. Fuck that. That's not fucking it. Boom. This is what I'm gonna do. And I think that was the most brilliant thing, and especially when he was like, he's gonna burn this shit down. You know how he would burn this shit down if he's trying to target fucking um uh Phil? And because now Ricky's a manager and has a manager's license, you know what I really want?
Mm.
Know what I want, guys? Can you guess what I want? Anybody who listens, can you guess? Can you smell what Amanda is cooking right now?
Come on, Neko.
I know y'all know. Willis knows. Willis knows. And if so, if this happens, you heard it right here on episode 1. Okay, we're always like stolen from. Yeah, we're original on this shit.
OG.
OG motherfuckers. So
Woo woo.
I see Ricky managing Colt Cabana. That would be the fucking and like, you know what? Everyone wants it. That's the one. And everyone says, no, Amanda, you're the only one who wants it. I'm like, no, there is a whole section of people. If you really dig, they want to see that. They want to, especially after Philgate and Muffingate, excuse me.
Muffin.
People want to see it because Colt never said anything. He kept his boca shut. And those who kind of know him a little, and if you ask about it, he'll be very sly and kind of sarcastic. He did that to me, so I'm like, we know. Anyone who's not, anyone who knows anything or is whatnot knows that that's the one, because that's truly personal, and that one is when it's all going to go down, and it's going to be
and
fire.
It's one of those matches where having, a double DQ, a double count out, that's the kind of match that makes a lot of sense for that to happen. That way you'll always wonder. And then you don't let him touch for like a year and a half, 2 years. Pull a dreamer on him and then let him go at it one more time.
Yeah. And I really think that, and especially having Ricky is that big of a mouthpiece, like I can see them getting personal with it. Like, you fucked this guy over. That was your best friend. I swear to God, if all of a sudden, like, I get like a little phone call, like, so Punk Cabana. I'm just saying, I don't write this shit, right? I don't.
That's actually one I'd watch.
A lot of people will watch that because I think that that's the only thing that Phil has not done that needs to be done. And especially after that whole thing, it's like, Tony, if you're going to bring him back, you need to do that, instead of, we feel bad for you, Colt Cabana, so you're going to have a match for the ROH title with Chris Jericho, and we've never seen you again on TV.
And that would be one of those things. You could put those two guys in a room and go, all right, you can be pissed at each other or you can do good business.
Yep. How would it
What's
be?
more important to you?
All right. And, I will tell you the answer to that because I think I know the answer. The answer from Colt would be it's about business.
Yep.
Okay. That's why he's a savvy Jewish person. And that is why his mom helped get him. He shared a bank account with his mom. Anyways, I digress. But I really feel that with this whole thing, that it boils down to, okay, well, we've got, oops, sorry, hold on, got a mess up here. I think it comes down to Phil is like, it's personal. Like, no, it's really business. Because at the end of the day, Colt's never gonna have that. Colt will never do that in a public forum like that. Because why? It's about his brand and the business. Like that shit doesn't fly. And I'm pretty sure, and it bothers me because I'm like, he didn't say anything. He just kept it to himself. So that's where we're going to see it. And I know everyone's going to be, God, Amanda, this is never going to happen. But with Ricky right now as the sounding board, I think that could happen because I can just imagine some of those promos that Ricky would cut. You fuck that guy over. What the fuck?
Yeah, you wouldn't even have to have Colt involved. He could just go work his indie dates and you just let it happen.
Yeah.
Let the magic happen.
And it would happen. And I honestly feel that at the end of the day, oh, I lost something. At the end of the day, it's good business. But Tony doesn't
Right.
see that. And again, it's long term booking,
Yeah.
which
And,
again, they don't believe in.
well, I agree with that. I think that there's a lot of storylines that they could push. Like they started to lean into Pillman
Yeah.
for like, a good 5 or 6 episodes and then just stopped.
Yeah. I'm glad
Even
Pillman's
though,
where he is now.
yeah,
That
Brian
was
Pillman Jr. is an amazing performer and he can work a mic.
mm-hmm.
Now, and I will say this about Colt Cabana, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Colt's going to remain an indie darling for the rest of his career.
Yep.
Let's be real here.
Yep.
He lacks the one thing that Phil Brooks has, which is a natural charisma. That's what he lacks. Performance, bar none. Much better. Business ethic, work ethic, it's entirely night and day.
Yeah.
He just lacks that pop.
Yeah.
And that's all it is. That what is it Regal says? You have to have it. No, it was Dusty Rhodes. You have it or you don't.
Mm-hmm.
You're either gonna make it or you're not. And that doesn't mean you can't work the indies and make some money for yourself. Times have changed.
Absolutely.
Like this is no shade at him.
No.
Like he could get his moment in the sun. He could work a match, go out quietly at an ODQ against CM Punk, leave the internet community just button at the teeth, fill up his bookings, and go work himself on the indies and have a successful career.
Well, he's now a producer and trainer. Now, here's my thing. The one thing I think that he should, at least Tony should have let him do it, it would have been nice, is the one belt he did not get from ROH was he was never the heavyweight champion. Because remember, he came back in that program with Lethal. That was a great program. Not because I like Colt Cabana, it just that was great. And that's also back when the fucking Young Bucks were great,
Yeah.
But Adam Cole, bye. So, I don't know. But I think that that's the one that, they should have at least thrown him a bone and like let him beat Jericho in that moment and then just have him lose it to Jericho.
Well, I think that, but there is potential.
Mm-hmm.
I could see a barn burner match with Samoa Joe.
Mm-hmm.
That everything's still on the table for him.
But didn't he did wrestle Samoa Joe?
But I don't think he wrestled for but not for the title, not as I recall.
No, but I mean that was just was when he had both, so the 2 titles. But still, I mean, Joe, yeah.
I know we're having a moment of kinship. Like,
yeah, and
we
could
book this.
We could book this. Hell, I think I've booked a lot of freaking ROH and things like that because I can tell you, there's some people on ROH that I'm just like, man, you are not utilizing correctly. Okay, nice to see like people like LSG, Brett Titus, doing that backstage work. But at the end of the day, those two were some of the workhorses that made that company at the end of the days.
Yeah, and it's like WWE has the brand split. It's all WWE, right? This was an opportunity for Tony Khan to take ROH, revitalize it, make it what it was, separate it out. AEW have those special interactions, the Forbidden Door, much like you do with Impact.
Yep.
And he would have both brands.
Mm-hmm.
And he could easily set a book, like just take all those ones you're not using for AEW, let them work ROH. It gives you a versatility that you can play with. Not it's the B show for Phil Brooks because the board of directors hates you.
Yeah. But I want to say that it's very interesting to me when I look at this card. There's only one match that I'm truly interested in.
Oh.
And that would be
Nancy?
the trios match of the Golden Elite
Mm-hmm.
versus Takeshita and Bullet Club Gold. And I'm talking the Bullet Club Gold of Jay White and Juice Robinson. Because I will say that when they had that 60-minute match with FTR, that was a fucking textbook school of this is fucking tag team wrestling. And I'm like, man, I haven't seen shit like that. Well,
You
on
know what I'd
AEW
like to see out of that match?
period. So that CMFTR match was the only thing that I loved about that is when fucking Phil sat down with his little Indian style leg thing, and then fucking Malachi Black sat there and looked at him dead in the face. That was the best thing. It was
it's like, is that what you got?
Yeah, it was like the Spider-Man meme. You know, the ones where they're looking at the two of them are looking at each other, pointing. That's what that was for me. That was the Spider-Man meme.
Here's what I'd like to see with the Golden Elite versus Bullet Club Gold. Here's what I'd like to see.
Mm-hmm.
Put it as a stipulation that one team or whichever team loses has to disband and never to wrestle together as a tag team ever again. Then I would.
But that's easy though, because Takeshita and Bullet Club Gold, yeah, Golden Elite. You can't break that up.
Yes, you can. That's the swerve. Yes, you can. The Golden Lovers split them. Never to be done again. It wasn't a surprise when they did it the first time. It's a dead and gone bygone point. Just split them up. Give the Bullet Club their day. And put Jay White over.
Jay White needs to be over. I don't like the booking of Jay White so far.
Right. Jay White is money.
He is money. Mm-hmm.
Like, I would even say he has an ass that's just behind Ricky Starks. Just to put it in Amanda terms.
On the scale of Ricky Starks being the best and Colt Cabana being the worst, he's like in the middle.
Well, still better than nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Still better than Colt Cabana.
Right. I honestly think he needs to be put over. He's so over in Japan, it's not even funny. He's so well recognized as a brand.
Yeah, even here, because we all know that most of the AEW crowd isn't watching New Japan.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very interesting to me. But also, I think that even if you say the Golden Elite disbands, okay, I really, in my heart of hearts, I really wish that the Handsome Devils would come back.
That could be an interesting. It's like, okay, that's disbanded. Well, we got this.
This is what we have. And I would be like overjoyed. I think that if Tony got for a while, he got faction heavy. He still kind of is. You need to bring fucking the Enterprises in. Do the right thing there.
The GOD and there's.
Yep. And then, bring Flip Gordon. Like, what the hell's Flip doing? But
he's flipping at home.
But he also is another one who's changed his style up a little bit, because he's like, he even knows that shit takes 10 years or plus off your career. So
that's something that I've noticed about AEW as a whole, comparatively to other promotions, is that they are so injury heavy.
Oh yeah, we talked about that on episode 1.
Yeah, why would you put your talent into that position? I mean, I know it seems like we're just shitting on AEW, but they kind of put themselves in this position.
We've never said it in that manner, did you? And I think that that's so true. Is they did it to themselves, and I think also it's like you were pushing people that should not have been pushed, like Jade Cargill. She should not have had that run that she had.
No.
I'd
say the same thing about Britt Baker. Mm-hmm. She's a wet spoon. Like, she can work a ring, that's nice, but she's a wet spoon on the mic. Mm-hmm. It's great that she has a catchphrase, but that's all she is, a catchphrase.
Nobody.
Where, like, Toni Storm, you knew automatically who she was. Mm-hmm. Ruby Soho, you knew who she was.
Mhm.
They can work a mic, they can work a ring, and they have fan interaction. Soraya
Yeah.
might not be the greatest in the ring anymore, but she can work a mic. She's been in the business since she was fucking 14.
Yeah. Now, speaking of Tony Storm, have you seen the 2 promos she's cut on Collision?
Yes.
The interviews. What do you think of these?
I'm just going to go. It's going to be interesting because I could see, Ember Moon or whatever she's calling herself these days, because I love her, great performer,
Mhm.
hell of a D&D player. I could see that match happen. I could see a best of 3 happen because they are both fantastic. And if you shit on the brand, you got to go for the champion.
Yeah.
Like
And
that.
I think, her meltdowns are just like amazing. Like like I think it's amazing. And I think it's brought out something in Tony that I think she needed. And because that was just brilliant because
It
don't
up
see
the ante.
and you
Like-
don't see the women do that kind of stuff.
No, and you don't see it on AEW women doing that kind of stuff because we've seen what a Rosemary, a Sue Young, what a Havoc, with any of those, what they can do.
Yeah.
She might and I'll address this. Well, she might be boring, but the problem is she's in a sea full of dead fish, so to speak. In the grand scheme of the ocean, she's a big shark bored with her pool. But getting, Ember into that prospect, that's someone who can work a mic and push her to her limits.
Tony Storm is boring to me.
Yeah, that's what I was just addressing.
Yeah, I know this.
Give me 1 second. Hey, honey.
Willis, what's wrong with you?
Can you take my
What is wrong with you? Did you snip like you
don't need to sit down.
Posting ocean spray
Hold
photos?
Hold on 1 second. I'm going to turn it over to the hidden voice while I use the bio.
We have a hidden voice. Ooh, hi, hidden voice. How's it going, hidden voice? Or not? Everybody, talk amongst yourselves. The topic is Willis is a fool. What do you think, everybody? Willis is a fool? Yeah, he's flirting with death, Willis. Yeah, you don't keep poking the bear and posting ocean spray photos. You don't keep poking the bear. No. One day the bear is going to look at you and go, you know what? And bite you and you're dead. I'm just saying. If you want to call it a death threat, call it a death threat. But anyways, so just rule number 1, don't do that. No ocean spray photos, please. That guy's a troll. Literally a troll. And that today was your Amanda shitting on ocean spray. Mazel tov.
Sorry about that. I'm back.
No worries. I was telling them that Willis posting ocean spray photos on my X account. He's poking the bear. He's poking the bear.
All I'm saying is to call it an X account really messes me up a little.
Mm-hmm.
This is my X account.
Yeah. X won't give to you. No. I don't even know. Like, I think okay. Well, at least we don't have the little bird icon on here anymore.
Oh, mine's still a bird.
Yeah. March did good job. Good job, dude. Good on you, man. Good on you. And I think, I don't know. I mean, all in, I don't blame people for wanting their money back. Because this shit, when I look at it, I'm like, this is not what I thought I'd get. I thought I'd get Zack Sabre Jr. in here. You want to put some of these top British guys.
Yeah.
Because this is a thing where it's like, man, I cut my teeth here, blah, blah, blah. I hope we get a Jamie Hayter appearance. I would love that.
That would be nice.
That would be very, very nice. You know, I
Hell,
think.
speaking of ROH,
Mhm.
one of the signees that got a promo but never got a debut that they could get, Sasha and Moth Martina. They
Don't start
could
me with
get her.
that one. I know. I know. Don't start me with that one. Don't
Why?
start me with that one.
Why? Don't like her?
No, I do. And it's like, there's the pandemic killed ROH because
Yes.
Mark Haskins and his lovely fucking hot ass wife. Yeah. Vicky Haskins, those people are good people. Anyways, that the signing of Adam Brooks, and we never got to see Brooksy. I'm
Hmm.
just saying. I'm just saying.
There
But
was so many talent that was due
yeah.
in.
Hmm. Yeah, and we were starting to see Zach on Ring of Honor again. But that was
Hmm.
more of a Marty thing. So I was hoping that eventually we'd see the leaders again. And that would have been
It
fucking
would have
cool.
been awesome.
Yeah, let's see the leaders versus FTR.
That would have been
That
hey,
would
hey.
that'd be amazing. You know, I'm just saying because I think that that would be great. I don't think they've wrestled Rapungi Vice. Okay,
No,
fucking love me some Rapungi Vice. Oh my god. Yeah, there's
there's
a lot of them they haven't
we
done.
could walk through tag teams that they haven't touched that are fully capable of, even if it's one night
Yeah,
only.
I think that they could do the Golden Lovers,
I bet they could.
and that would be a great match.
Mm,
That would be one. I think it'd be
it-
pretty good because there's something about when um Coda and Kenny wrestle together. There's just something about it that it makes sense more so than anybody else that he wrestles with.
well, I think that's because Coda takes control and says, "Calm down your spot fest bullshit. Let's do this right."
Hmm. But I will say this too: if y'all haven't seen Kota Ibushi versus Joey Janela at Spring Break
Oh,
this year, that is
woo!
another side of Janela that I know people have never seen. And when people say, "Oh, Joey Janela is fucking trash. He can't wrestle," fucking watch that match and come back and try to tell me that Joey Janela is trash. And
Well,
then
then
chapter.
that's the problem with the IWC, and I've mentioned this when I did episode 1 with Ref Marsh.
Mhm.
You know, is that the IWC, the one thing you can always be assured of is they will always have an opinion. Like, you know, Lacey Evans or Macy Estrella, had all the capability to carry on a career, and it wasn't her fault. She got hit with shitty booking, and her contract ended up just yesterday. Like, she was starting, they just didn't use her to any degree. She had a gimmick that worked. I mean, she could have been so much more, but
Yeah.
there you go. And then you have these people going, "Oh, well, it's sad to see you go," but they were the same people talking shit about her not 6 months ago.
Yep, that happens. Wrestlers are a special breed.
I don't know how they put up with it.
I don't know. I would be slapping bitches because I'd just be like, I don't. No tolerance. No tolerance. There's too many people who are Hollywood. And yeah, too much Hollywood for my taste. So,
Part of the
yeah.
Slapahoe tribe.
Yeah. I mean, what else is going on? I mean, there's not, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of wrestling coming up because you got
Yeah,
All In, All Out, which again, that was stupid to do two back to back because it's not necessary.
yeah. You're
Yeah.
right. Like, they should have. That's why WWE and Impact and everybody else spreads it out, because you
Hmm.
start to overload the crowd and they just don't
Hmm.
care.
Hmm. And that's
Like,
the problem. Nobody cares really with AEW. Nobody,
they've lost that
no.
edge that they had.
But here's the question I'm going to throw to you: did they ever really have an edge? I don't think so.
I think they did for a time. It was a brief point. I think it peaked at the interaction between, and I can tell you when I felt it died. It was the episode after you had MJF cut a promo on CM Punk to his face and back and forth. I think that's the best that they had going. Then after that, it's been a steady decline since. Because that was a shoot. That was a worked shoot right there where they were just told go out and cut promos. And, you know, I don't count the Adam Page shit because they use him too sporadically, even though he's probably one of the most over wrestlers.
Yeah. And I don't know. He's the one who it's like, oh yeah, let's take out our frustration on the Bucks and everybody on Adam Page.
Yeah.
That's not right. That's not right. I don't know. But I sometimes feel like a lot of people are trapped because there really isn't anywhere else for them to go. It's very island of misfit toys, you know? So that's where I'm wondering. It's like, okay, well,
And
obviously.
there's too many toys in the toy box. So how many do you play with in a day?
Slightly. Just slightly. But you know, whatever. Tony has his favorites, and that's why others suffer. So, you
It's
know,
true.
it
I've
is
heard
what
that.
it is. Yep, it is what it is. And if people say that there's not a favoritism, that's bullshit. You do
Like
not know
they had
that.
an opportunity to sign Luke Bisto.
Now, don't start
Like,
me with that one.
look,
Well,
is that a fan plus or not a fan plus?
no, I like Lufisto. I'm not, you know, but it's very interesting because, you know, we all know that AEW that the women it was going to be bad, okay?
Yeah.
But then I'm like, you can't get any worse. Just bring fucking Tessa Blanchard in this shit because she deserves to fucking have a platform where she's on TV like that.
Yeah.
You know, but I mean, I don't know. What do I know? I'm just somebody who fucking drinks on a Thursday night talking about wrestling and trying to be positive and not shit on it. But you know, sometimes you have to shit on things. It just is life. It's a
Yeah.
simple life.
Like,
But yeah, I don't know.
it's nice they got Taya Valkyrie out there. I think that's a wasted opportunity.
It totally is a wasted opportunity.
You know, there are just people, so many good people they have on that roster, even if it's just a one shot that they can do something with. And people are pissed. They were like, well, you know, we want, you know, to see a match that matters. We don't need to see the 12th match of, you know, Darby Allin and Sting going out there against XYZ dude because
Yeah.
we've seen it so much.
So you don't like the father and son thing?
I think it's getting old. I love that Sting can still perform sporadically. I love that, but I think it's time that Darby stands on his own 2 feet. He's great. It's just stop the gimmick. Sting doesn't need to be, you know, up his ass anymore. It's time for Darby to be the punk rock, you know, skater kid and just let him do it. Like, that's what got him over
Mm-hmm.
was that whole shtick. He doesn't need a Sting. Not in the slightest.
No.
And it's about time that goes. It's much like I love the Hardys. I very much am a Reby fan. Because she's got no fucking chill, and I love that.
Yeah.
But they need to just go away quietly, put over who you need to, and you know Jericho should have been gone 6 months ago. He can't keep carrying the company on his back. He just can't.
Mm-mm. No, and you know, with the whole God, I just lost my train of thought. No, I mean Jericho, yeah, he's outstayed his welcome. He has.
Like,
I don't know. I kind of feel like with the Hardys, here's where I was going. With the Hardys, I absolute hate seeing Ethan Page out there. I hated it. My heart fucking I'm like, I can't do this. That is somebody with major missed opportunity. And I'm just like, yeah. Oh, that's another one. The North versus fucking FTR. There we go.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I miss the North. And
now,
yeah,
I got a question for you.
Okay.
Do you feel, based on current booking, that AEW is relying too much on nostalgia?
Oh, yes and no.
Okay.
It's the nostalgia that is more what Tony liked. And it's fucking mixed in a fucking, it's taken and put in a blender. And it just is not just shit.
Give me an example. Give me an
Well,
example.
for example, I want to use, I'm going to use, let's pick on Jack Perry.
Okay. Now that he's back to Gentleman Jack. Got
Yep.
it.
Back to that. Now, when you look at him, okay,
Mhm.
like he's, I get what you're trying to do because it's an old, thing of, you're reinventing somebody. Okay. I get it. Is it working? I don't know. I don't think it is because it really kind of rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. And, you know, I don't believe him as a heel. It's just so forced. And that's where I think it's one of those things of that's a formula of, oh, yeah, we've got this and, and then here's this. And then it just is a shit show. So, that's where I see like Tony's nostalgic booking. But then also at the same point, his regular booking, some of it is kind of obnoxious. So, I mean, I don't know what he's trying to get at. If he wants to bring that past in, that I don't know. So,
Well, and I'll throw you a line of where I think that
mhm,
it's relying too much on nostalgia. Okay.
mhm.
How many main event matches and pay-per-views has Jericho missed?
Quite a few.
He's done quite a few.
Hmm.
How many times has Sting been put out there?
None. On a
Right.
pay per view or
On a
headlining?
pay-per-view. On a
Uh,
pay-per-view headlining.
3 maybe.
Okay.
North versus FTR. Take my money. You got
Yeah.
it. Sabu was random. Yeah, I know, right? Same with
I
RVD.
I got the connection. I just didn't think it was necessary.
Yeah. What about RVD?
RVD again, much with Sabu, and now it's working into they've done the WWE nostalgia.
Yeah.
They pulled that Hogan card.
Mhm.
Now they're working on the ECW end because they've already drained one well. Where else are they going to go? They already try to use Impact, but Impact isn't built like that.
Yeah.
So now they're going for the ECW. Get your Sabus, your Sandmans. Mark my words, you're going to see Sandman at some point in the next year.
Okay.
He's not in the same condition that he was, but you'll see him.
Yeah. That's just
Like, I'll give you a missed opportunity nobody talks about. Danhausen.
okay. That was something that went. It was a fad and then just went bye bye.
But here's the thing,
Hmm.
okay? If I have followed Danhausen's career, because I think he's a guy who got over the worst gimmick and made it happen. Like, he's just really good at it. He's very creative. And they could have taken him and made him, take him back to a more serious note. The dude can work. The dude can cut a promo. They could have got behind him, and they could have done more with him. Like, when they had him, they had the opportunity, and they just underused. Mike Tyson, he's already been in AEW. He's already shown up once.
Mhm.
Like, you can't ride on nostalgia, and I agree with you. I think it's Tony Khan's nostalgia. It's what he was very fond of, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's what fans want. Like, he
Exactly.
might be a spot monkey, but not everybody's about that. People want to see, FTR be legitimized, as going on to that tag team end. People want to see, Colt Cabana, CM Punk.
Hmm.
People want to see some division in the elite to put on that dream match of, against the Young Bucks versus Kenny Omega. People want to see these things. They want to see long-term booking. They like with the women. The women's a prime example. Britt Baker needs to step away. Just walk away for a while. Let the girls run their line. She wants to do a run in. Hell, have her go get some, new faces. Go get some new girls. Bring them in. Run a faction of her own to take on the what is it they're calling themselves now?
The Outcasts.
The Outcasts.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why is she not doing that? Like, Layla Hirsch, be legit.
I love Layla Hirsch.
Why are they not like right there?
Well, she was injured for quite a while.
She's up now.
Yep, she's up now. I just think that she's a missed opportunity.
She is.
I mean, Kylan King, look at Kylan King. Fucking totally passed her up, and I knew she was going to be something special.
Yeah.
There she went. She went to Impact. It's a big,
Yep.
fuck you. The one I'm waiting for her return, and I hope they do her right, is friend of the show, Thunder Rosa.
Yes, yes.
Mm-hmm.
They better do her right.
Miss her. Totally miss her.
I'd love to see her and Taya, too.
I know. That was
like
the
first
one
one was a banger. Oh, God.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm waiting for. That's a very good banger. I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's not much else. I mean, other than, I don't know.
Like why don't we switch to Impact for a minute? Because we've kind of...
Yeah, let's switch to some Impact.
Yeah.
I have not, I'll be honest. I was at a conference this last week from... if anybody is from Dallas, holy fuck, dude. I was there from Saturday till yesterday. Oh my God, 108, 110, and there was humidity. I was dying.
Yeah.
So I couldn't watch anything because I just was like, I was too wet,
I'm with Willis on this one. Poor Taya.
Okay, Taya.
She knew what she was walking into.
Yeah, I think so. But still, at the same time, it's like...
She'll be back in Impact in no time.
Okay, I'm sure.
Speaking of which, let's see. I think this Scott D'Amore feud needs to end. Not that it wasn't fucking amazing.
Yeah.
To see Team Canada. Oh my God. But I think it's time that lets go. I think they need to embrace the Rick Swan team with Callahan.
Mm-hmm.
I do think they either need to get behind the Death Dolls or fucking the God darn it, sorry, MK Ultra. They need to pick one and go, because MK Ultra is your young bloods that, well, I mean, they've been in the business for a while, but they're amazing workers.
Mm-hmm.
And you've only got so much time left on a Havoc, Courtney Rush gimmick. You've only got so much time left. What?
Yeah.
I see. You went to icon status.
I went to icon status because I'm like coughing and I need to actually because my sinuses are killing me, I need to use my nasal spray. So that's all, people. Yes. So yes, we are human, and damn, sinuses are bad.
I was just gonna say, I mean, that we could start a site, Only Noses,
Only noses? I don't know. I don't have a very good nose. I don't like my nose.
Somebody will like it out there.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe that's the new trend now, Digi, is noses.
I mean, if people paid for All In, I mean, they'll surely pay for nose picks.
Well, that's two different things, though.
I don't know. They're both full of snot at some juncture.
That's true. Now, I was asked by people, hey, are you going to go to All In? I'm like, I have no fucking desire. None at all. Hi, I'm back.
Yay!
For those of you listening, I went off camera, had to do, my sinuses are bad. But anyways.
Please tell me he doesn't put us on Spotify.
Does he?
I hope not.
I have no idea. I thought goes on wherever you find your. I don't know.
Yeah, it's only episode 1. We're not sure where it goes. We know it goes.
We know it goes. I know it goes on Twitch, and it goes on
Twitch on YouTube. Yep.
It goes on X, I think, and it goes on. I don't know.
Maybe we need to check on that.
Yeah.
Oh God.
I'm just, I don't know. I'm just like now hosting apparently Thursday night. So take a drink, everybody, because you know what this is what happens. And when Marsh lets the fucking me run the asylum. I mean, I'm sorry, guys.
Remind me, I need to petition Marv that I would like to be a co-host. I feel like we have a good rapport. I mean, Willis, Neko, what do you think? You think we should do this as a tag team?
I know. What do you guys think? We love your opinions. If you think it's shitty, then please, by all means, be honest. Yeah. I love honesty. Mm-hmm. And I swear to God, Willis, if you fucking do the fucking ocean scrape photo where fucking he looks like a fucking troll, no, we'll shut that down real quick.
Oh man.
I know. Even our listeners out there, because most people, I would say, with me, kind of, I don't want to say I'm driving the ship here, because we don't need Asian drivers doing this, because I'll admit I am the statistically the worst driver on the road, Asian female. Yeah,
it is true. I like how Willis is like, bro. Yo,
no, none of this fucking grunt bullshit, dude. None of it. I am not having that. No. And there's 2 people I feel with all in England who are very missing out. Marty, obviously, Zack Sabre Jr., and I think there's some other people on the Brit scene that really kind of deserve to be on that kind of a platform, because it's a big damn deal. And, I mean, I don't know.
It's like Gunter, or whatever the hell they're calling him, the Ring General. That's dude
still Walter to me. I'm sorry. Gunther is no.
He has been all over Europe. He's been everywhere. He is probably one of the most favored European wrestlers out there. And it's good to see him get a push, to kind of tap on that. But his EU career is fucking legendary. Pardon my language, but it's true.
At fucking in Germany, XPW.
Mm-hmm.
Him winning the carrot and all that. Yeah, well, also even when he was at PWG, oh my lord. And actually when Chris Van Vliet interviewed him during, I think it was SummerSlam, whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
Who that was. He was asking about his chops, and he says it's more than just the hand. You got to put the forearm into it. And then I thought to myself, is this true? So I actually did this on a friend of mine, and it is true. It is very, very true. And I think that if you guys ever look back and see Walter versus Sammy Guevara at PWG. Oh my God. I swear I got so much joy out of it. I think I had an orgasm. Because
that was a David and Goliath moment.
The shit beating out of him. But his chest, woo!
Red.
Fucking hands and
Another one, like Matt Riddle as an example. He did a good run on the Irish and the EU scene just after he stopped doing MMA. And he can do so much more. Like, it's incredible some of the stuff that a man is able to do.
Yeah, but the question sometimes is do they want to do more? Because I think that once you get to a certain point, they just get complacent. You know what I mean?
That's fair.
Yeah. And I think he's one of those ones. That's just me. I don't know.
Yeah. No, that's fair. It's like to give you an example of something that goes on that, you have to kind of scour the internet for. And Session Moth Martina's got to be one of my favorites of all time because she's just out there. Um, was her, it was a whole gimmick run where Sue Young had kidnapped her,
Oh
and she was gone for a couple months, and then she comes back as Session Goth Martina.
Oh, okay.
And then they had they had a hardcore match in Ireland where it was brutal but amazing, and those two ladies just worked it out.
Yeah.
The other thing from the indies that you kind of have to scour for is Jessica Havoc tombstoning Sammy Callahan.
Oh yeah.
It's
Oh my
so
God.
good.
Anytime you see those two together, it's
It's
magical.
especially when she's streaming on Twitch and Sammy's just pops in and starts screwing with her.
Oh my God. It's funny because I remember when this was a long time ago. Not a long, well, yeah, it's a pretty long time ago. That I was at a show and I saw her and I was talking to her. And I said, so I guess Sammy decided, okay, I'm gonna stop dip and I'm also gonna stop the soda at the same time.
Yeah.
I was like, Jess, dude. And she goes, I tried to tell him, don't do it. And I said, well, you doing okay with it? She goes, for now. She goes, but
give it a week.
Yeah, no. And he that did not last long. So the next time I saw her, it was like a month later, and she said, just shook her head at me, and I go, it lasted that long, right? She goes, oh yeah, it was the soda first, and I'm like, jeez,
Yeah.
fuck. And then he comes over, and I'm like, dude, what the fuck? And he's like, I know, I have no willpower, man. I don't know what to tell you. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah. And she just hits him on the back of the head. Where's your manager? You didn't say hello. I'm like, I love this. Yeah.
And that's kind of one of those cool things is that when you learn, you interact, and you start to recognize these people, these wonderful performers, you start to learn, like, there is a secret Twitch account which belongs to Sue Young.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And there's also there is a special Call of Duty group that I've partaked in them. They love it. I've been told, we love it when you come in because you totally suck. I go, I know. Thanks, guys. Thanks.
There's also an unofficial Uncle Alan stream. Like, these people are out there, whether you know it or not, and you can learn just how legit they are as people. Like, you see the thing. Hold on, got it. Yeah, right here. She's as real as it gets. She's the Hall of Famer, and you want to see what it's like. Real people. She's it. You want to see. You want to talk to, like, how many people outside of her community realize that the music for, if I'm not mistaken, the Death Dolls, Havoc's entrance, is done by her brother.
Oh, really? I did not know that.
And the artwork for the T-shirts is done by somebody who's a longtime friend, who's part of her community. The reason why I haven't talked about Jeff versus Jeff is because I have a gag reflex. That's kind of where that is. I would rather see Kenny Omega wrestle a broom again.
Well, I don't know why I decided to play Impact real loud. Sorry, folks. It's episode 1, and you know what? When Marsh doesn't fucking drive this bullshit, that's why we can't get to episode 2.
Hey, Willis, you never did answer. What do you think of us tag teaming this, or do you just want more Amanda time talking about Ricky Stark's ass?
Willis! Oh, yeah. True story. There was one time he was listening to me in Marsh, and
Mhm.
I don't know, we were talking something, and I was like, I was trying, like, I thought he was like still up, and I was like, Willis, and he said he was like sleeping, and he woke up like, what? Oh my God, what? Yeah. So I thought that maybe that would bring him up. But, it's funny, speaking of people and speaking of Ricky Starks, um, on during the pandemic, oh my God, this was a hot mess. I don't know. Um, he would go on Instagram live, and I miss the Joey Janela shit when he would go on almost every day. Whatever he called it, I can't remember. But when like Ricky would go on Instagram live, and I remember he sent me. He's like, "I'm going on live." I'm like, "Okay, all right, whatever." He's like, "Come on in." And I go, "Okay." He was fucking. I'm like, this is how the pandemic hit some of these people. Okay, he was sitting there with a bottle of um I don't know. I think it was this like weird, like there was tequila in it, but I don't remember what it was. It was some kind of mix of something. Anyways, he is fucking drinking it like out of the fucking bottle. And I'm sitting here like, oh, dude's hella fucked up. And he's like, okay, I'm cooking dinner, and he's and I was like, oh, well, what's for dinner? And he goes, I'm having dinosaur chicken nuggets. And
Dino Nuggies.
I'm like, oh, okay, so it's adulting. And he's like, yes. Next thing I know is he's drinking, and then he put on music, and he's like fucking singing along with like Prince. And next thing I know, it's been like a while, and I'm like, Ricky, weren't you cooking dinner? And then I typed it in there, and he goes, oh fuck, turns around. This was horrible. Turns around, fucking smoke coming out of the oven. And he's like, motherfucker. And he goes, well, he's like, I've got to eat these. I'm poor. I'm like, I'm like, oh my God. I go, you should ask people to like Venmo you money. And he brought out, like, he put it on a plate, and he was like, so here are the nuggets. They were like really brown. And I'm like, oh, that does not look good, dude. And then the fries, he's like, they're not bad. They were hard as a rock. And
I mean,
yeah. And I'm like, well, you did
uh,
it to yourself, bro. You did it to yourself. And it was
like,
funny. That was like,
oh,
he would get really drunk on there, start singing, and then, he's like, I'm gonna eat. I'm gonna do this or this. And I'm like, oh my God. So I would go on there to make sure that he didn't burn his apartment down. Or I don't know, like did something and like, I don't know, got really drunk and did something stupid. So
I
yeah.
mean, as you do, right?
Yeah, those are the times. It happens. It happens. So definitely, yeah. When you get to see people in their real self, that's why I really respect Joey Janela, because fucking that's a real motherfucker. He's a
Yeah.
real person. And and I respect that. And there's a lot of people that I respect because they're real, and it's
Lady
not
Frost.
God.
Lady
Yeah.
Frost and her husband, they are real. I mean, do you know how often I get into conversations about peanut butter on Twitter?
She's
They're
another
just,
she's another one that fucking Tony Khan, man, doesn't get. Yeah.
yeah.
I'm like, that's another stupid one, but don't start me with these things. You
Yeah.
know, yeah. And it's like, hey, what,
But I will say this, Amanda, like
mm,
us doing this as a tag team, I
mhm.
find funny because you don't rage as much.
I noticed that. Well,
It's
or maybe
wild.
or maybe it's because I'm adulting, because I have the fucking Marsh chair. It
Oh,
could be it. I don't know. But I mean, I will rage. Like I will tell you, like I will rage. Like when um like I don't know, like when I want to see this week what's going on with manager Ricky Starks. Why do I feel like he's going to be managing Samoa Joe and we're going to see that at all in. Now, I personally myself feel that's shitty that he doesn't get to wrestle on that big of a stage. Same
Yeah.
with Katana. Like they've got to do some kind of fucking battle royal of some sorts and let him go on there and do that, because the Bucks and the guys did that for him with all the original All In.
Hmm.
I brought 2
And
T-shirts.
he went over well, and
He did.
That's a lot of companies. Like,
Yeah. Well, that's
there's
also Chicago, so
when we talk about booking, because that's kind of what Thursdays has become, as we talk about everything else.
Yep.
Yeah. Is that the booking is kind of weird right now, because you have, like, on the WWE end, you have Triple H. Vince just had his come to Jesus moment, because if that holds, we'll see. But when Triple H was booking things, people were genuinely reinterested in the product.
Yeah.
When you had Cody at AEW and you had that board of directors, they tempered down that stuff, and you had a great charisma. I can't complain too much about Impact, except that their men's division sometimes is a little weird, especially with their, for lack of a better word, cruiserweights.
Mm-hmm.
I think, and this is my surprise promoter, okay, is William Corgan. Holy crap, NWA is amazing, and I wish they got bigger than they are.
I think that pandemic killed NWA. And
well, I mean, it's still running. It's just it's
I know,
got such a limited run.
But what it killed it though was
Okay.
they were going to be partnering with ROH.
Yeah, and that
So it was going to kick it to a next level, right? Because again, Marty's a booker. Marty can't book himself. He was not going to do that like how AEW, those guys were, booking themselves into titles and things like that. And that was a complaint everyone had. No, his solution was he was finally going to be Aldis. And I'm so sad because I had front row at that, and it would have been hard cam, and you would have seen, like, even when you watch hard cam, like you see Ricky Starks. But I mean, that's where it would have been. And then that would free up Aldis to build his brand on ROH. And that would have been phenomenal for him.
He got a good rub, like when they had Honor No More as a faction in Impact.
Mm-hmm.
They did a really good job of kind of having that translation. And that might be the step that they should take. Is that, if, Corgan got together with the Moore,
mm-hmm.
and maybe did a little back and forth, that could be a thing. Because I know they brought in the Hex,
mm-hmm.
which was good. They put on a hell of a tag team match because
mm-hmm.
they're really good.
Mm-hmm.
Marty Bell and oh god, sorry, and what's her name? Like
Allison
they're
Kay?
really Allison Kay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I remember her by her other name, and that messes people up apparently.
Oh, Sienna?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Like they had Layla Hirsch when they did the Power, great match. Lady Frost, oh my god.
Yeah.
Like they had these, really spot on badass matches. And I have to say, as an all women's pay-per-view, Empower was top notch.
Yeah.
And you mix that with an Impact female division ripe with talent, that's a banger right there.
Yeah.
And Corgan books really good male matches, so they can kind of complement each other. And that would be a great step, because Impact is the promotion that will never die.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care. It will never die. It survived Vince Russo.
Yeah. that is very true. Yeah. When you come to think of it, yeah, I mean, that's the one that'll never die. Yeah. It's not gonna die.
But that's not a bad thing. I mean,
no, it's not. It's not. It just gets like refreshed every so often, so it adds a a new set of eyes and new whatever. But
yeah, it's
Yep.
they survived so much as a brand, and they've learned from a lot of mistakes. I mean, they had their WCW moment. They had the Outsiders dressed like Elvis, so I mean, there's that. You know, they've
Yeah.
survived Vince Russo, they've survived bad booking. They've, unlike other companies, learned from their mistakes, and that's why they are where they are. Like if you want women's wrestling, you go to Impact.
Yeah. You don't go anywhere else. No.
Yeah, because their plot lines aren't bitches be crazy. They're going to like demon realms and all sorts of crazy stuff, and
Oh,
it's
yeah.
amazing.
Oh yeah. I kind of wish, and only because she would be amazing with it. Sometimes I really wish. I fucking would love to see Tessa Blanchard back over there.
Yeah, if she wasn't such a
I know, but she's the fucking best though. And I don't blame her, you know? If I were like fucking Queen Bee and I was that fucking good, yeah, I'd have a little bit of an ego. I'd be
well,
kind of a,
considering who her daddy and her stepfather are. I mean, there is a reason for the ego. It's just
Mhm.
most of these modern fans have no idea,
Yeah.
you know, who Magnum TA is, which is their own damn fault.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Like she's wrestling royalty, and these people are clueless.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah.
that's the thing. It's like Taya Valkyrie is, you know, she's second gen, isn't she?
No.
I think she is. Like, you know, there's just so many. God, being a knockout. I miss ODB. It's great she's got her food truck and she's amazing. But
I know I love ODB. Yeah, it was
What am
good
I-
to see her when I went on the Jericho cruise. It was awesome to see her.
like ODB is just she's a badass because she wasn't, you know, the small size model. She was just this, you know, country fed fuck you badass woman with a flask in her pocket,
Mm-hmm.
and that was different.
Yeah,
Like-
it was totally different. And I think that it blended well with everything else. And, you know, and I think that, and that's another person who's good fucking people. Fucking love her. I love her. And I don't know. I mean, there's certain things that I think as we evolve in our
Mhm.
wrestling tastes, and I'll put it that way, is I think that as we move forward, there's a lot of things that we can kind of go back and, you know, and I don't know, there's a lot of things that we need to go back and revisit. And I think that that's, you know, she's one that you definitely can get a lot from her. So,
Yeah. Like she could pull, you know, just because of the reputation, she could walk in and be an instant heel.
Yeah.
You know, one person I definitely never want to see back in a wrestling ring is Sexy Star.
Yeah, let's not go there.
Yeah, because
Speaking of people who should not be back in wrestling, did you know that Drake Younger is being a ref at some show somewhere? Who the fuck did that?
the highest bidder, which wasn't much.
Yeah. When I saw that, I'm like, whoa, okay. And I know people are like, oh, you know, Marty, blah, blah, blah. But I'm like, Drake Younger, dudes. Drake Younger. You know?
You know who I was glad to see get, you know, a little bit of time and back into the game?
Mm-hmm.
It's Enzo and Cass. Because,
Well,
you know,
I don't know. After this two of them and that whole thing with like art with when they did Supercard
yeah.
at Madison Square Garden and that bullshit. Yeah, no. I don't think
Well,
so.
I think there were worse things that could be. Like, you know, Cass had to come through a lot as a person. You know, Enzo was just coming out of that proven false accusation.
Yeah, well.
And, you know, he had ridden that for a while. And I think that kind of impacted it a little bit. But, you know, we saw Cass go to Impact. He was great for like a year. You know, and I think he's kind of doing that sporadically. He goes in for a year, he pulls out for a little while, he goes back in, you know.
Yeah.
And Enzo's on his rapping career, you know, which he's not bad. He's no gangster rapper, but he's making money, clearly.
Yeah,
he's still doing it.
People like hot messes, that's why.
Well, Britney Spears had a hell of a career.
Well, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's the
She
biggest
was
one.
12 levels of hot mess.
Yeah. Yeah. When you go and shave your head off like that, yeah, that's a lot of mess. A lot of mess. Hitting people's cars with brawlies and shit like that. Yeah, no. Big mess. Big mess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do I
Yeah.
feel for her? Not really. Not really.
No. She's
No.
what happens when you build a child star.
Mhm.
You know, because that's exactly what happened to her. And that's the same thing with, you know, and this, there is a segue to this.
Mhm.
You know, your second, your third generation wrestlers, there's an expectation. You know, they just did that whole documentary on Cody, and Triple H is right.
Yeah.
No matter what you do, you will never be your father, but you come in as their kid. You know, like The Rock came in and he had to forge his own path because
Mhm.
Rocky Maivia, the chief,
Mhm.
you know, that was his dad, and there came an expectation. In fact, every Samoan has an expectation of greatness, or you're not.
Mhm.
Like the Usos had to be
Yeah.
the best tag team. Roman Reigns, I mean, granted, it took like cancer to get him over, but he got over.
Yeah. I don't know how sometimes I feel about that, but it is what it is.
Yeah,
It's
and that storyline right there, like that's long term booking. That whole thing
Mhm.
with the bloodline, and
Oh my God, that was just.
it's still going. And I am just sitting back going, this can just keep going over and over again.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
So
think
are we at last call, my dear? Because
I feel like it is because we've gone and we've hit the gamut of everything,
we
and
we've covered 2 weeks, and
covered 2 weeks. And honestly, like I don't know. Do y'all want us back next week? I don't know. Who
I
knows?
mean,
Gotta tell
you
us.
almost need a Twitter poll or something.
Yeah, I think we do. We do. We should have producer lady or Marsh or Marv or whomever, because I should not be trusted with technology. I,
I think you should. I think
Mhm.
we make a great team. You have a lot of
Absolutely.
opinions, and we temper each other, and I like that.
Yeah, and I mean, people are going to be like, "What the heck? Why is she calm?" It's because I have to adult. Okay,
Yeah,
I
and
have
that's
to,
great.
and we all evolution. This is why it's take a drink, guys. Episode 1. This is why we can't move on.
Drink one more.
One more. So, guys, um, this is the
So
crew on the Thursday Night Chaser. Um,
so
so
I
I
have
hope
an
you join
idea.
us. I,
What
I
is
don't want to say next week because we don't know. We're going to poll you guys. So join us for another episode 1, maybe next
mhm.
Thursday, maybe the Thursday after. I don't know.
So
It's so random.
let's
But
do something a little different from the other show. Let's do our own thing. I got an idea.
mhm,
Okay, we have a lot of wrestling coming up. We got a lot of pay-per-views.
we do. We do.
Well, let's have a toast. Since you're the host, what are we toasting to with all this product coming forward?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so you guys, I don't I would say let's toast to um halfway decent shows because I'll be honest, like all in, then the next week's all out, and then there's a lot. There's a lot. The Phil Brooks show, there's a lot of things coming up.
Yeah,
So, I hope that everybody chooses their wrestling what they want to watch wisely because there's a lot of stuff out there. There's a lot of garbage out there, but there's some hidden gems. So, but we don't really normally talk about the other shit over here. So, my friends, you can find Digi. Digi, where can we find you?
it's already done at the bottom. I don't have much of a social media, but I do
That's
work
okay.
for one of the greatest Hall of Famers and women wrestlers of all time.
There you go. There you go.
Um, like I said, as you said, let's everybody enjoy the product.
Yeah,
Nobody is wrong. Everybody is right as long as you're enjoying it.
exactly. And so you guys can find me at Miss Amanda Jane on X. And
Okay.
that's just so weird. I can't do that.
Remember what X stands for with the ref.
Yeah, I know red shoes. Don't start me. Don't start me. I'm gonna start raging. So guys,
No. Cheers.
Instagram, X, We'll see you next time for another episode 1 from the dive bar of the IWC. That's
Yep.
last call.
Last call.
Hey, producer lady here. Thanks for tuning in. Continue to support us or buy us a drink by following and putting the I in subscribe on Twitch. Or subscribe and review our podcast on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to us. Cheers!
I would never have a drink with wrestling on the rocks.